Many of you ask me, how can I start? How can I start to accumulate money to create assets? Well, here are 10 ideas of business that don't require initial investment. Let's go for it. Many people want to start their own business, but they reach a point where there is a doubt. That is the price of starting the business. Normally, these types of people assume the popular belief that starting a business is expensive. This is absolutely not true. Starting a business doesn't have to be necessarily expensive. You should remember this concept. Ideas without money, money ends up arriving. Money without ideas, money goes away. If you have a good idea and want to work for it, you will go far. You will be able to start your own business. To locate which is your perfect business, you have to ask the 3 questions. First, without a doubt, is, what do I like to do? If there is something that differentiates the people who work for others of those who work for themselves, is the way of waking up on Mondays. This type of people normally live their life 2 days a week and 5 days are slaves. You must find an activity that allows you to live your life the 7 days of the week. You must see Mondays with passion but not with concern. The second is, what do I do better than others? We all have hidden talents, we all do things better than others. You should focus your business based on your skills. And the third question is, what needs are there to satisfy? How can I solve the problem? You must keep in mind that money is a way of thanking services and favors, and if you are capable of solving a problem in our environment, they will pay you with money, they will thank you for those services with money. By answering calmly to these 3 questions, you will find what is the business that fits best for you. Let's start with the ranking. Let's go for it. 1. Mystery customer or mystery shopper. It's a technique used by companies to evaluate and measure the quality of the customer service. Mystery shoppers act like ordinary customers making a purchase or consuming a service, and then submit a report on how was customer experience to the manager or the boss or the owner of the company. It's very simple. You go to a store, you act like a regular customer and you evaluate that process. As you can imagine, the investment is very small. You need to get in touch with all kinds of establishments and offer your services to the owners. At the beginning, you can start by yourself making this evaluations. As the business progresses, you can ask relatives or friends, and when the business really grows, you can hire people working your position. As you can imagine, it is not difficult to find people who want to work in this sector. Everyone likes to buy, and experience is not required either. The truth is that this is a business to be considered. 2. Translation agency. Do you perfectly master another language? Why don't you offer your translation services to companies? An interesting target are all those online stores that only have an English version and don't take advantage of the full potential of internet. You can also go to physical stores. Those that are in the center of your city. These stores can take advantage of tourism. Companies that want to open their business to other countries, and you know that language and that culture. In the translation business, there are many possibilities. It's a very comfortable activity that you can even do from your home. On rare occasions, you will have to travel. You must be aware that speaking a language is an asset, so what are you waiting for to monetize it? 3. Events organization. The organization of events needs a lot of organizational capacity and many contacts, but practically no investment is required. You can organize weddings, you can organize birthdays, business events and along etc. If you have worked in the restaurant sector, that knowledge is A+, since you can apply it when organizing events. You already know prices, you know type of service, you can even have worker contacts to get the service cheaper. If you have always liked parties or think when you go to a wedding or to a social event that you can do it better, this is your business, so don't think it twice. 4. Private lessons. Private lessons are a classic. It consists of monetizing all that knowledge that you have in your head. Depending on your knowledge, you may be able to teach children who go to high school, kids, or even university students. As you can imagine, the investment is very low, since you go to the house of the person who wants to receive the lesson. All you need is the desire to teach and a lot of enthusiasm. 5. Company of distribution of advertising. Although we are in a highly technological era, there are still many small and medium businesses and even large companies that prefer that their offers continue to arrive directly at their door potential customers. Creating this type of company or working part-time to the advertisement distribution does not require initial investment. Nothing. Zero. The companies that you can contact can be mostly restaurants, business that have an age in which they don't handle themselves very well with internet, lifelong businesses, shoe stores, etc. It just takes a lot of enthusiasm and work. If your business grows, it won't take you much to find staff, since the distribution of advertising doesn't require much experience either. Although it seems like an old school business, it may still give many joys. So if you like this business, you can try. 6. Personal trainer. If you have knowledge in training and even nutrition, you are lucky, because this sector is starting to emerge in many countries. You can earn money by training individuals, going to their homes to do a training, or in a park nearby. And also working for different gyms, since these sometimes subcontract the services of personal training. If you have knowledge of tennis, golf, or any sport that requires a teacher to advance, you can offer yourself to train people. This idea is very similar to that of private lessons. Instead of giving classes on a specific subject, the lessons are from a sporting point of view. As you can expect, the investment is very limited and only requires knowledge that makes the worker work in a more customized way than in a gym. Let's continue. 7. Personal shopper. Do you like fashion and the latest trends? Do you know every store in your city? Then you may like to be a personal shopper. The personal shopper can accompany customers to the stores, establish customized shopping routes around the city, or buy the objects on their own if the client does not have enough time. It's like a purchasing advisor. There are people who are passing through a city and they would like to buy, and teach them which are the stores that best suit their needs. If a person is very busy and needs to buy a suit, a shirt, etc., well, you provide that shirt or suit according to their needs. The initial investment in this business is very small and you can make the contacts little by little. But my recommendation is that you focus on the luxury sector that normally uses these services. Without any doubt, if you are passionate about shopping, personal shopper world can be the solution to set up your business. 8. Broker of construction budgets. In many countries, the construction has not recovered yet, but on the other hand, there are people who are very demanding and seek the best value for money. If during a lot of time, you have worked in the construction sector of the reforms, all that knowledge can be used. A broker of construction budgets, on one hand, has customers who need to carry out a reform in their house or a small construction, and on the other hand has companies that offer this type of services. It's as simple as finding the best price for the customer. By offering this service, you make your customers save much time when looking for companies, and companies count on you as one more way to get customers. That way they save on advertising costs. So, if you worked on this sector for a long time and you have a deep knowledge, you can monetize everything you have in your head. 9. Commercial intermediary. We could also call it facilitating contacts. If you have a good commercial network, you can make a lot of money without investing a single penny. All you have to do is putting in contact with people who need to sell something with people who need to buy something. This is something that can be done in almost all sectors, but that it can only be achieved by people with an excellent business mastery and magnificent network of contacts. There is a great diversity of commercial intermediaries. There are the wholesalers, the retailers, the sales agents, the representatives, and the commercial intermediaries. A clear example is people who need to put a very peculiar property up for sale. For example, a very large house or an old house. That kind of real estate operations are not placed on the internet. They are not placed in view of everyone. Mainly, because on many occasions the person who sells needs maximum discretion. In that case, the figure of the commercial intermediary comes into play. He puts in contact the person who needs a very peculiar home and the person that sells that house. So if you know a sector, you have contacts in that sector and want to start your own business, then all that knowledge can have a good use. 10. Consultant. If you are an experienced professional, hardened in many battles in the corporate world, many people could benefit from that knowledge. You must ask yourself if you are an expert in something that you could perhaps monetize. You can be successful as an independent consultant. Many people in their 50s and 60s turn to me because they want to start to have their own business, and they always ask me the same thing. Is it too late to begin with? First of all, let's make it clear that a person with 50 or 60 years old is a young person. And I remark that a young person, because I know people of 70 years old still running marathons, and it's not a joke. Well, aside from this, if you find yourself in that situation, you should think about what you did before. You were a waiter, you were a commercial, I don't know, whatever. But I'm sure you know much of yours, and a professional solution for you is consulting. Become a consultant in your area of work. Collect all that knowledge that you have in your head and put a price on them. Were you a waiter? Have you been a waiter for 20 years? Surely you know how to run a bar. You know about suppliers. You know about drinks. You know about customers. You know the rentals. You know many things. For that knowledge there is someone who is willing to pay for. Since with that knowledge, you will save them a lot of time and a lot of money. Starting in consulting doesn't being very old. It means simply having knowledge in a sector during some years, something that has been proven and something that is valid. Basically, consultant can be people of all ages. It's a comfortable business because you are going to talk about what you like, what you know, and it requires very little investment. Once finished this ranking, I hope these 10 examples have lit the spark in you of entrepreneurship. Now, you have seen with your own eyes that starting a business does not have to be expensive. That you can start a business from your house with almost no infrastructure and with the knowledge you have. I hope these 10 ideas serve as a starting point and soon to reach financial freedom. Write a comment if you want to see more videos like this. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, I invite you to do it. And you can share this video if you would like to help your contacts in their financial education. See you in the next video, and remember, smart work is the key to success.